The Premier League season is starting today. The first match, Brentford versus Arsenal. I think this is going to be a brilliant match. I'm hoping Brentford stuff Arsenal and we can all go into the weekend nice and happy. Unless you're an Arsenal fan, but then who cares about them? So, with the start of all the new seasons, I thought it was time to do some predictions. Now, I spent an entire 5 minutes thinking about this, and I'm going to go with the Premier League winner being Chelsea. Don't like to say it, it doesn't taste nice. So I think Chelsea are going to win the Premier League. Why do I think they're going to win? I just saw the news, Lukaku. They bought a striker who knows the Premier League, can score goals. He's a much better player now than when he was here before. And with all the talent they've got in that team, I can't see a weakness. I mean, there isn't one. And I think winning the Champions League last season will only give them more confidence to go on and pick up the Premier League. I also think that they know how to beat Man City. And I think, that they're going to be the main rivals this year. So I think Chelsea will have enough to get it done. They've just got a better team than everyone else. Second place, I'm going for Man United. I think Man United were pretty damn good last season. They were conceding a little bit too many. They didn't have great first halves, but I think their signings, they've taken a lot of pressure off of Fernandes with the signing of Sancho. That's a great signing. Sancho, Greenwood, Fernandes, Cavani's in the bag. He's going to score goals. Rashford down the left, and Van der Beek if they can figure out, how to use him properly. And then if Varane, if he ever gets unveiled as a Man United player, they're a bloody good team. And I think they also have the beating of Man City. It's a derby game, and I think they've worked out how to beat them. So I could see draws with the other top six, so-called. And I think Man United, they will improve, but I still think they will finish below Chelsea. Third place, I have to go Man City. They can't be any lower than that, surely. But the simple reason is, the reason I say that Man City won't win the Premier League is because where's the striker? Now, transfer window is still open. If they get Harry Kane, which you just don't know whether they will or not, but if they get Harry Kane, all of this changes. They win the league. That is basically it. But without a proven, 30 goals a season striker up front for them, this false number 9, teams work it out. If they all park the bus, then you're going to have a problem. I mean, Man City last season did have a problem with counter-attacking teams. Now, the counter-attacking teams were not necessarily good enough to take advantage of that, but you could see the openings there. If they get injuries to, say, Fernandinho, or Rodri, suddenly there's just this big gap, and I see weaknesses in the Man City side. Yes, they're fantastic on the ball, and they're pretty damn good off the ball as well, but there are weaknesses, and the top sides, like Chelsea, like Man United, can see this, will take advantage of it. Leicester are another team that have taken advantage of it in the Charity Shield, or whatever it's called, the other day, and they did it in the FA Cup. And Leicester, I believe, will finish 4th. I think they're the best run club in the country, and their signings I like. I don't like the injury to their defender. I've forgotten his name. But they've gone out into the transfer market straight away. They bought another Premier League proven centre-back. It's just good business. I think they'll be solid again, and they will beat most of the teams in the Premier League. They might struggle against some of the top 6 teams. They're kind of more 50-50, but they're a quality outfit. If they keep their players fit, I think they can finish 4th. 5th place, I'm going to say, goes to Liverpool. And the reason I say this is last season, yes, they had a ton of injuries. They're going to get their main centre-back back. But there were some wobbles. And I think Liverpool, after winning the league and the Champions League, they haven't signed that kind of marquee player. They're the same kind of team. And I feel it might just be getting a little bit stale now. Now, I could be completely wrong. I do rate Klopp. I think he's a fantastic manager. And Liverpool might just blow everyone away again. But was it Robertson got a bit of an injury? Trent coming back from an injury? There's still injury concerns there, and I don't think the depth is anywhere near as good as Man City or Chelsea or even Man United for that fact. So I see some kind of weaknesses coming in there. So Liverpool, they've got something to prove, and that might boost them up the table. As for 6th place and below, I mean, it's just going to be who has the least amount of injuries. There are so many good teams in the Premier League now. And I say teams, it's not individual players. If you're going on individual players, you got to look at the likes of Spurs. If they keep Harry Kane and they have Son fit, healthy, Lo Celso's quality player, and Ndombele if he ever decides to play a game. Fantastic players, but they're all individuals. They're not so much as a team anymore. They were, they're not anymore. And that's why you can't predict anyone in this midfield. I mean, Aston Villa, if they keep their players fit, again, they could be right up there. Losing Grealish, yeah, that hurts. But they got in Danny Ings. He's a bloody good striker, Danny Ings. Very underrated. Some of their other signings have been fantastic, but they play as a team. So they could be right up there. Let's look at Arsenal. Similar to Spurs in the fact that they are all individuals. I'm not so sure they are a team. I don't rate Arteta. I don't like Arsenal. Okay, simple as that. They have good bits here, good bits there, but I never really see them as a team, unless they're playing Man City, because they seem to like playing Man City. So, that's often a good match to watch. None of their other matches are good to watch, but that one, yeah. So, I mean, if Brighton start scoring goals, actually putting the ball in the back of the net, they were really good last season, but they couldn't score. If they start scoring, they're climbing that table. So they're another one in the mix for kind of a mid-table place. Everton, if Ancelotti was still in charge, I would say they were right up there. Really, I just don't know now. I just don't know with Everton. Are they just going to be completely fractured, or are they going to unite and push on from what it was a good season, considering the amount of injuries they had last season? So that's hit or miss. You just don't know what Everton are going to do. West Ham in a very similar situation. They haven't really improved in the transfer market. So I'm just not sure whether they're going to sustain that. I mean, Jesse Lingard was brilliant for them. What are they get? Like, that's a huge hole there. So, I mean, they still have a good midfield. They have some good players. Are they going to feel like they can push on and go higher up the table? Not so sure. We'll have to wait and see on that one. As for relegation, well, Norwich, they love to yo-yo, so I'm expecting Norwich to probably go down again. Newcastle, I feel, will struggle this season. They seem so desperate to get new owners in and, go flying up the table with mega money. That's one of the things that needs to absolutely 100% stop in football. But I haven't seen any news on Newcastle at all. I don't know if they're doing anything in the transfer market. I mean, I just don't rate them at all. I think they're going to struggle. their fans will get on their back as soon as they lose a few bloody games. So I think they're in the bottom, definitely in the bottom half. I think Burnley, they have a good manager, but are they really ever going to push on? It's a bit of a kind of Stoke City situation going on there. So, you just don't quite know with Burnley. I think they will be okay. As for the other promoted sides, Brentford, I think, I don't know how good they are defensively yet. I don't think they're going to, fly into the top half of the table, but I don't think they're going to be, as easy as some teams think. So, I think they'll be in and around it, but I think they'll get the goals at least. They have a striker who can score. I think that'll keep them in the Premier League. The other relegated, I'm just checking here. Cannot see them at all. Watford. Right, there we go. Yeah, I think Watford are going down. They'll probably sack their manager 2-3 times during the season, and they'll be relegated because of it. That's just what they are. As for Leeds and Wolves, Wolves are solid. I think they will be fine. Leeds are also solid. I think they will be fine. In fact, Leeds might just push on. We should have to wait and see on that. They're mid-table teams, maybe higher rather than lower, but injuries are what's going to cause teams to be in the lower part, I feel, of this league. As for the other teams, anyone I missed out? Southampton and Palace. Okay, Southampton. I think Southampton will have a bad season if they lose Ward-Prowse. I really do rate Ward-Prowse. I think he's a fantastic player. He's their captain. They've already lost Danny Ings, and a centre-back has gone from them as well. Is it Leicester that bought that? So they've got some issues. They could have a hard season. Southampton do have a really good youth system, but that can only last so long. So they've got to be really careful here. They play some great football, but that could be hard. And Palace are just going to be Palace. Struggle a bit, fight back, just stay in the Premier League. I don't see them really pushing on from where they were last season. And that's about it. So, what are your predictions for the Premier League? Are you going for a wild one? Are Leicester going to do it again? Are Spurs going to rally and actually do anything this season? We shall find out. It all kicks off in a few hours. So, come on Brentford, and come on you Spurs.